Seychelles hosts a large population of critically endangered hawksbill turtles, endangered green turtles and mud turtles, also known as terrapins. Urbanization of the coastal areas has led to the loss of habitat for these animals, and the presence of humans, dogs and cats leads to injury and death of freshwater terrapins as well as turtle hatchlings. Although these species are protected, there has been no facility to allow the treatment and recuperation of injured species. On 31st of March 2015, a Wildlife Conservation and Rehabilitation Center was opened to treat and rehabilitate injured animals prior to release back into the wild.
Welcome to Banyan Tree, and welcome to this, the new reality which started as a dream 6-7 months ago, which is the Wildlife Conservation and Rehab Center, which is a mission now joined by Banyan Tree, Seychelles, and the Marine Conservation Society, with the support of all of you and the minister. Thank you very much.
As Ricardo said, the centre is an output from a partnership project between ourselves, the Marine Conservation Society, the Banyan Tree, and the Veterinary Services of Seychelles. This was funded under the Government of Seychelles UNDP-GEF project, mainstreaming biodiversity into production sector activities.
I would like to thank everybody who's put in the hard work, and we will continue through various sources in whatever way we can to support the NGOs and also the other organizations, be it private organizations, to see how we can best move forward and do more of these kind of activities, so that Seychelles will live up to the reputation of being one of the most environmentally friendly countries in the world. Oops.
Yay. Thank you.
The center provides information for visiting Seychellois and guests of the resort. It contains a treatment room where trained staff are collecting data and researching the best practices for rehabilitating the injured animals. The resort has provided the necessary infrastructure and also some jacuzzis to accommodate the turtles and terrapins brought in for rehabilitation. Imogen Webster of the Marine Conservation Society Seychelles explains.
So we've only now been open for the last 2 weeks. The idea is that we actually work with the hotel to be able to inform their guests and people from outside the hotel, general public, of the centre. So why a wetland's important, we have a wetland behind us here, and why the beach area is important as well.
The centre is open to the public. It provides educational tools to improve awareness of the endangered and endemic wildlife that inhabits Mahe and its coastal areas.
The centre actually takes in injured wildlife. It can be from anywhere over Seychelles. We're mainly focusing on the turtles and the terrapins that are around. Part of what we do here is actually monitor the beach on a daily basis in order to see the turtle activity. Are the turtles actually coming up to nest here? How many are coming up? We count the eggs for the nests. We look at the size of the animals to get an idea of the population as well. Okay, so here we have a nest, and every day we walk along the beach, we record things like where the nests are. So if we see tracks on the beach, then we'll measure the tracks as well, because that gives us an idea of the size of the animal, so how old it is. We also look at the human activity that's along the beach. So we have people swimming, we have boats going past, and all of this kind of activity can affect whether or not a turtle will come onto the beach to nest. So things like here, we have the sun loungers. They can actually stop a turtle coming up to find a good place to lay her nest. Like we have animal tracks here. There's the cat tracks, dog tracks as well. Again, these kind of animals, they can take the hatchlings or a dog can dig up a nest and just destroy a nest. So if there's a lot of that kind of activity, then we start to record it as well. So if we see people on the beach, then we also do try and approach them and actually tell them this is a turtle nesting beach, how they can actually behave to, if they see a turtle, what's the best thing to do so that they don't stop it coming up to nest. So it's all about just trying to keep the balance between them having a good holiday and enjoying watching an animal, but also making sure the animal can still do its natural behaviour without too much interference or danger as well. So that's part of what the turtle patrolling is. It's getting as much information about what's happening with the turtles and protecting them, but also making sure that the guests and other tourists on the beach are aware that it is a turtle area. So they are going to be, if they're lucky, they'll see a turtle, but how to watch them without making too much of an impact on them. And then in the wetland behind, we're looking at the 2 species of local terrapins, and we're trying to get an idea of how many are actually here in the wetland. And then we can use that to help the hotel with the management side of things. So if they're wanting to look at further development, then we can actually advise them on how best to do it with minimal impact to this environment.
The immediate result of this demonstration project is to improve knowledge of turtles and terrapins and how to manage areas where humans and the wild species interact. Also, the project has provided access to appropriate veterinary care. Rachel Poole of the MCSS tells us more about some of the terrapins undergoing treatment.
Stumpy is a female yellow-bellied mud turtle, and she has the lighter yellow head, while the male Hayes is brown. Stumpy was found beside the road and seemed to have a problem with her back legs, and she was not walking well. She is slowly improving. Hayes is the most recent addition to the tanks, being caught in March. While he is the same size as Stumpy, he is underweight. This is the first time in Seychelles that there is a rehabilitation centre, and the first time that terrapins are being caught for research purposes only. Previous captive breeding programs have not managed to yield very many results on behaviour, so this is the first time that this is taking place. This is also the first time a population estimate is taking place at Etanos.
The terrapins are transported to the treatment room, where Imogen and Rachel record their progress. They weigh and measure them, and the information is recorded in the center's database.
17.6, 12.79.
Their photographs are also taken to capture the unique physiognomy of individuals.
No, not under up. No. Project is a terrapin hatchling. At the moment we are unsure which species it is, and it is too young to determine the gender. However, we think it is a yellow-bellied mud turtle. It was found beside the rehabilitation centre with a scratched head and 3 toes missing on the right forelimb. The hatchling has been kept for observation to see whether its injuries are causing any problems. So far, our observations indicate it is eating well, and we should be able to release it once it gets a bit larger. Additionally, its 3 claws seem to be growing back. In a better mode.
Following treatment, the terrapins are brought back to their jacuzzis for feeding. They are given multivitamin pellets to help speed up their recovery.
Good job. Then, right in front of you. Good job.
little project, the terrapin hatchling, is the most energetic of the 5. When they're fully recovered, the terrapins are tagged and released into their natural habitat. In this case, they are released into the wetland adjacent to the resort to rejoin the wild population. Through various long-term projects, Seychelles continues to conserve its coastal and marine biodiversity for the future.